Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be making an argument for unskilled labor getting paid more. And I'm not sure if the best way is through a union or how you'd actually get an employer to pay unskilled laborers more. Obviously, in a perfect world, you work harder and then they notice that. You ask for a raise, they give you the raise. And that does work sometimes. I have gotten 2 raises at my job, so it does work. Part of the problem is it doesn't keep up with inflation. The other part is you have to keep asking, and they keep kind of putting it off for maybe 2 months or something, and then you kind of got to wait around. When I think the level of unskilled labor should just be higher to begin with, and I'm not sure if you'd get that through raising minimum wages. There's a lot of people on the traditional economic right who are against minimum wage laws. They believe it hurts small business, and I can definitely see the argument for that, because if you're going into an apprenticeship and you don't know anything and they're a small business and they have to pay you a certain amount and you don't know anything, obviously that's going to be annoying for them, and you might not even stick it out. So that's obviously a threat to them as well. So you got to go into this discussion understanding that. But I'm talking more about not apprenticing, not that kind of work in this video, because that would be, apprenticing would be to go towards a skilled trade. And the trade-off there is you could take a little bit less and learn the trade. And a lot of tradespeople do that. They give you the minimum wage, even though the actual career would be like 35 an hour down the road. But anyways, that's not what this video is specifically about. It's more about just straight labor jobs, picking grapes, picking apples in a field for wineries, maybe moving hay bales on a farm, picking up, spreading manure, things that don't need an apprenticeship, that you can just be basically taught within an hour or two. And if you can't do it, they'll get rid of you. But if you can, that's what it is. These jobs pay very low. Obviously, the argument for that is it doesn't take a college education, and they can replace you easily. There's people who are in a country wanting more wages. They could ship the job to another country that has a lower standard of living, or they can open migration and immigration for people to come here and take the job. I don't want to sound against migrants, but to be honest, immigration does need to be slowed, and it is a problem for working class people that are just unskilled. And you're not an idiot if you're an unskilled laborer. You're really not. You're just trying to put in an honest day's work, and labor is hard. Whether it's mowing lawns or it's drywalling, or if it's janitorial or any of these things, you're putting in sweat, and you're putting mileage on your car, so to speak. The car being your body, metaphorically. And the idea of saving up and then going to college and then getting a better career and getting out of that is fine, but there are a lot of people who can't do better, and there's a lot of people who want to live that simple, humble life, that just want to do a simple job and with their labor earn their keep in society. And you can't really do that now, and it's unfortunate. And I think institutions, universities, are gatekeeping a lot of jobs. I've made a video on that, where here you have to have a 4-year university degree to do a job assisting rangers with just cutting logs out of the way of paths and handing out tickets for off-leash dogs and stuff. So it is getting ridiculous in that sense. But to this, I see a coworker at my job. He's not only unskilled, but he's disabled, and they throw so much work at this guy. He doesn't know how to negotiate any raise whatsoever, and he isn't the happiest guy. He's giving pushback, but he still does it. He has faith in what he's doing and the traditional work ethic I believe he has. And it's unfortunate to see that they actually scapegoat him a lot, where if he's not even working on the day something goes wrong, he might not even be working within a 2-3 day radius of something that goes wrong, and it goes around the office that it was his fault. They kind of scapegoat him on everything, and that causes him to resent everybody, and then his work actually does go down. And this is the best that he can do. He has a brain injury, he has a leg injury. This is the best he can do, and it's demotivating for everybody that's his coworker, essentially, including myself. And they do the same games with me as well, because basically when you're at the bottom of this social hierarchy, they assume that they can take advantage of you, and they assume that your work is so easily replaceable, which it is most of the time. So they are right, but it shouldn't be that way. That they don't need to treat you like a human being, and that if you quit the job, they'll hire somebody who either, well, I don't want to sound like that guy anymore, but they'll hire somebody from out of the country, or they'll ship the job to another country. Or now with AI and automation, that's also a threat too. And I see the bosses at this one particular job, they're doing a lot of work from home, where they essentially are working 2-3 days a week from home, and then one in the office. So they have like a 4-day work week where it's only 1 day in the actual office. And I'm not sure what the work quality is when they're at home, but it's basically emails. It's not even really phone calls. It's just all done by emails. And they email back and forth to set up this, either depending on the position, about ordering paper towels for the building or whatever service the building needs, or if they need to book a client into one of the rooms or a tenant. And it's kind of absurd to think that a laborer can't do that work, that a laborer is so stupid that they can't just send emails. It's not that a laborer can't send emails, it's just that a laborer doesn't want to be sitting at a desk sending emails all day. They want to be doing something with their hands. And on the flip side, another reason why laborers, unskilled laborers, should be getting paid more is, even though it's easily replaceable, nobody wants to be scrubbing toilets, nobody wants to be doing backbreaking work. So that's an incentive to pay laborers more than people that just sit at home 2-3 days, work from home, answering emails. So I don't understand the labor imbalance there. I think it's obviously a system of exploitation. I don't think it's been talked about enough. I think Elon Musk has recently brought up that it's not fair for people to do the work from home thing. But it's kind of an issue that's swept under the rug a little bit, and you're pulling the weight of the people who are doing the work from home, and you're their in-person representative. So you're taking their actual face-to-face job, and their actual work from home email thing can easily be replaced with AI. AI and automation can actually replace their jobs easier than the labor job. The labor is the hands-on. There's not an automatron that can do these jobs yet. It's something that they're looking into, so we can not be able to take care of ourselves anymore, and we're getting pushed out of the door more and more. It's almost a shame and a stigma. People have confirmation bias that if you're an unskilled laborer, it's because it's your fault and you're never going to get anywhere. And there might be some truth to that, because a lot of unskilled laborers just want to be laborers, but they want to earn a decent living. And anyways, this is my video on this and why I think that unskilled labor should get a raise. I'm not saying that all unskilled laborers are hard workers, and I'm not saying all unskilled laborers necessarily deserve a raise, because there's probably a lot of them who just show up and they don't do anything. But probably some of the people that show up and don't do anything are quiet quitting, and they're trying to leverage that for a raise, which is another problem. And a lot of these people and corporations have a lot of money that they can give a small raise or a moderate raise to the people that are putting in the labor to build their companies without really hurting their bottom line. So anyways, that's my video on that. It's definitely like a traditional leftist type rant or ramble. And a lot of people on the right are going to say that you just got to pick up your bootstraps and apprentice with a better job and get in through that. And that's probably the best alternative for a lot of people. I'm just saying that a lot of people aren't lucky to know somebody through word of mouth, or like I said, they like mowing lawns and stuff. And it's a labor intensive job that needs to be recognized. So anyways, I think I maybe didn't need to do the last 2 minutes of this video. It kind of just repeated some of my argument and maybe even weakened it, but I had some points in there. Like and leave a comment if you want to, and that's my opinion on this, and I hope everyone's having a good day. God bless, and thanks everyone for watching.